the way the sun.
So did Tony La Russa, for what it's worth.
Oh, really? Oh, God.
Which isn't. Yeah, that was pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, it's funny. It's the nice thing about this format where you play division foes so many times is you really get to hate each other. Everybody like I'm not too crazy about the Brewers, but we can both agree that we probably both hate the Cardinals and the Cubs.
Absolutely. Definitely agree on that.
Especially Tony La Russa. Oh my goodness. We can agree we both hate the Cubs and Cardinals, and then the Reds, they're just there.
Yeah. No, I mean, we live in close proximity to Wrigley Field. It's only like a 90-minute drive down the expressway, and Cub fans typically come over and just taken over Miller Park, and called it. They even refer to it as Wrigley North or something like that. Well, those days are kind of over because the Brewers just took the division from them last year, and the Brewer fans are in full force, from this point going forward. And people here in Milwaukee really have huge Brewer fever when you get to within one game of the World Series. That hasn't happened here since the Brewers were actually in a World Series back in 1982, which is a long, long time ago. A lot of people who are Brewer fans weren't even alive then. So to get that close, I think they really have a taste for a championship. And this year, I think they really feel they have the strongest team yet, even better than last year. So expectations are really high. Unfortunately, the competition will be stiff, and no team in NL Central will be a pushover, and that's just the reality of it. But there's going to be some great baseball played, and it's going to be an exciting 2019 season. There's no doubt about that. How
good did it feel to eliminate the Cubs last year? That had to be awesome.
Well, absolutely. Just because of it was one of those things where the Cubs were the Brewers did lead the division for a good portion of the first half, and then once the Cubs kind of caught up to them and overtook them, it was just like one of those things where Cub fans expected that to happen. It happened the previous season, and once they got all firing on all cylinders, they expected to pass the Brewers. And they did it again last year, but after the Brewers' unbelievable late season run, especially in September, and Christian Yelich just putting up sick numbers, and the Brewers were just phenomenal last year down the stretch, and they did catch the Cubs on the last day of the season to force that game 163, which was, of course, held at Wrigley. Brewers went down there and won that game and took the division, and the Cubs were forced to go play in the wild card game rather than pass that by, and they lost to the Rockies, and their season was over. So to be able to celebrate on the field of the Cubs at Wrigley Field for that game was unbelievable as a Brewer fan, and also backing up a couple of days before that, I think the Wednesday of the week before that, the Brewers had clinched a playoff spot in St. Louis. So they got to celebrate in St. Louis and in Chicago, and twice in 1 week, and celebrating their clubhouse. I think as a Brewer fan, you'd love to do that at home, but there's nothing more sweet than to do it on the turf of your two most arch rivals in your division. That's for sure.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy?
Hey, I was asking before about Ray Searage. Joe, I was wondering how is Ray Searage doing? I know he had some health issues last, August, September. He's a former Brewer. I think some of our listeners would actually be interested in how Ray Searage is doing.
I was not aware Ray Searage was with the Brewers. That's cool.
Yeah. Yep.
He is considered. Well, a few years ago, he was considered like a god, like a pitching guru that they could that he would just magically transform any pitcher into like a Cy Young candidate or something like that. And the bloom fell off the rose a little bit, fell down to earth a little bit. And another thing that the Pirates did was their strategy was, oh well, if Ray Searage can take any pitcher and make him good, we're just going to get the crappiest pitchers ever and just give it to him, and he's just going to magically make him better, and we'll have a good pitching staff. And that was a really bad strategy. So he's all right. He's had his failures, he's had his successes, but I mean, overall, I think he's still considered a pretty good pitching coach.
Right, but he had a health issue last year, right? I mean, he was out maybe in September.
I haven't heard anything about that. I think he's okay now.
That's good. Okay.
I haven't. I haven't heard any health issues. So and it's with the Pirates are pretty no name. So he's Ray Searage is one of the big names on the team. So if anything did happen to him, it would be pretty big news.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, how crazy was it that you play 162 games and that's still not enough to decide a division, and you have to go to an extra game? That's amazing.
Yeah, we were fortunate to be able to play in that game, and to win it was pretty sweet for sure.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. I want to say good luck. Kind of good luck. How about one of us wins the division and one of us makes a wild? No, I don't want the wild card again. No, you guys get the wild card. Pirates can win division. How's that?
Hey man, if you guys are gonna let us have it, maybe tone it down a little bit. We're playing you again before the All-Star break.
I'll pass it on. All right, Vincent Craig.
Hey Joey, what's the best place to eat before a Pirates game when you're visiting Pittsburgh? I'm planning on coming up there at least once this year.
If you want around the stadium, gosh, I don't know. My go-to place is, or like the famous place in Pittsburgh is Permanis, but I don't know if there's a Permanis around there. I mean,
I think there. I don't know. Craig, we ate some buffalo wings, I think, before our one time there together.
Yeah, there was a place right across the street. I don't recall the name of it.
Yeah, it was close. It was close to the ballpark. I can tell you that.
There's if you like pizza, there's this place called Slice on Broadway that's in the stadium. Or kind of like outside of the stadium that's supposed to be pretty good. But yeah, when I go to Pirates games, I go cheap. And there's a place called Buckaroos that has like $1. It's supposed to be for kids, but it's like, $1 hot dogs. Everything's $1. So that's my.
That may be where we went, Craig.
All right, guys. Vince Craig from the Brew Crew Review Milwaukee Brewers podcast. Thank you so much.
Hey, Joey.
Thank you.
Great to talk to you, man. We'll talk to you over the course of baseball season, hopefully.
Sounds good.
Well, good luck
to
with
we all love baseball.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll see you guys. Thanks for listening. We'll be back tomorrow with another episode. We're going to preview the NCAA tournament. Yep, it's that time of year. Thanks again to Craig and Vince from the Brew Crew podcast. Talk to you later. Another episode is in the bag.
Or coffee?